Hello, everyone. So Leanne's going to talk about the second part. If things came up that might be questions for Leanne, please use the chat function and we'll gather all the questions together at the end and try and have a bit more of a conversation. So Leanne, back to you.
Cool. Okay. So one of the when we think about the NDIS, and it's a large bureaucratic system, the intention to provide sort of lifelong support for people that have significant and lifelong disabilities. One of the things that can be really easy is that organisations and ones like us are at risk of just getting magnetized, if you like, to the NDIS, you know, supporting people to navigate this large system, to try and get supports from it. And it's all about some things get lost in that. They are very important, but they sometimes get lost. Things get lost, and that is around that life is bigger than a service. Supports and services help us to live our life, but it is about getting a life, not just about getting a service. So I guess that is in that context, what we know from people is that they say we want to have friends, relationships, work, purposeful things, meaningful things to do. We want control over our life. We want to choose who and where we live, and we want to be healthy and be kept safe and be really belong to something and to feel valued and to give and receive love. And I guess in that context, that's where our WAIS work sits, that, you know, life is larger than a system. Our WAIS work is larger than a system. And that's, I guess, where it fits with the keys to citizenship. You know, it is about discovering who someone is, discovering how they want to live, the people in their life, the love they have, the freedom they have, the things that are meaningful for them, the things that give them purpose. So that's, even though we've got this large system that's really drawing us in, sometimes that can draw us in so far and we just forget that there's all this other stuff that's not a part of the system that's really so important to hold on to. So 4 elements that we focus on is, we've got an element of policy and strategy, which is, you know, we do understand there is a system, and everyone within any system or any organisation, we believe, wants to get it right for people. But being connected to people on the ground, you know, that's what actually will create change. So how do we ensure those voices are heard through whatever means are possible? And one element for us is using our organisation to help do that. Tapping into people's existing abilities, existing capacities, and increasing however that is, as well as that also increasing ours. Providing information and resources, so being able to help people to do things for themselves, or to help them connect with services, community funded, whatever, that will help them to achieve what they want to do. And showcasing creativity, showcasing what's possible, sharing what's possible. And so our support to people and families, you'll see that's just a snapshot. We need to update this, by the way. But, you know, some of our key focus areas of support are around planning, genuine planning, support for decision making, people being able to live in their own home outside of group homes, being able to choose a service provider, how to choose a service provider, how to be an employer if you want to self-manage. How am I going to be the best employer I can? What do I need to consider legally? How can I recruit my own supports? How can I take as much control as possible, and how we walk alongside people and families in doing that. I just want to show you a couple of videos now about, I guess, some of the work that we do, or some stories really. We have, and at the end of the presentation is our website, but we did a series called Mythbusters, because often we get people saying, well, you know, I can't live in my own home, and there's all these myths around it that still exist today, and they might in your country as well. And I just want to play just a couple of videos that I guess highlight or showcase some of our focus areas, which is about home. It is about, you know, me being a valued member of my community based on who I am. And also around how I'm taking control of my own life. So there's just a couple of videos. I will play this one now.
You're too disabled to live in your own home. You can only get the appropriate support you need if you live with other people with disability. That's not true. Living in your own home, it means you will be lonely. Yeah.
People with disability don't have the skills to live in their own home. What do you reckon about that?
Living in your own home means you have to be capable of doing everything or most things yourself. No, not true. Anybody can live in their own home with support. Last one. It's too dangerous for people with disability to live in their own home in the community. It is safe, and I'm living proof of living on my own home. Forget the myths. The UN Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities give us a promisingly different starting point. Article 19 is about people living independently and being included in community. It's about people with disabilities having the right to choose where they live and who they live with. When we put a value on a person's right to self-direct their lives, including their right to live in their own home, and we support them to make it happen, we're busting myths.
That's a summary video, just so everyone knows, but on our website, there's each myth, I guess, broken down a little bit further. So I just want to share, there's a couple of stories I'd like to, or Soraya is one of them. It's a series of videos that, again, around showcasing what's possible. She lives down in the southwest of Western Australia in a beautiful spot called Margaret River. It's our wine region here in WA, and if you think here the themes of our work come through with Soraya's story, you can see the focus that's on.
My name's Soraya. My business is sunrise, flowers and craft. They smell beautiful. I like it. I hate flowers with cafes. I take flowers away. I also love them.
Thanks, Soraya. Thank you very much. They're beautiful.
I love seeing Paul. What's my favorite customer? Paul is at the same time.
Is that my invoice? I'll get you some money. Thanks again for coming and doing the flowers. You do a really good job.
My mom has a beautiful garden. snake flowers at Mum's house. The pink petals from the paper. And the petals from the paper. I glue the paper around the vase. I take the flowers to the yard. It's a cool place. I'll take the flowers to Virginia. I've done flowers for years. I love flowers very much. Oh, not the feeling of the years. Love colors. The flowers make you happy. I love my business.
So Soraya, who has her own business, using the beautiful flowers and colours that keep her heart happy, and also she's making money and a contribution. She's making money for herself, but also a contribution to her beautiful community. And self-direction, when you're thinking about us being able to do those things that give us meaning and purpose, and even better, getting paid for it, is something that we all strive for, really. Oops. So I just want to show you one more video of Scott. Scott is going to share how he, I guess, self-manages and what's been important for him around his self-direction and him taking as much, having as much choice and control in his life.
Hi there, my name is Scott Harry. I'm in my early 40s and I've lived on the north side of Brisbane my entire life. Due to having Duchenne muscular dystrophy, I need a motorised wheelchair to get around, and I require a ventilator 24/7 to keep me breathing. So of course, with that, I need 24-hour support to do virtually all my physical tasks. I also have a younger brother, Daniel, who also has muscular dystrophy. We have lived our entire life together and have experienced a couple of different support therapies. So for the first 30 years of our lives, we lived with our parents in our family home. Where for about 15 years of that, a service provider employed staff and sent them to our house to provide support. For the next 5 years, we lived in a group home setting where our service provider had complete control over our support. So coming today, we share our house in the Brisbane suburb of Taggart, and for a bit over 5 years now, we have been self-directing our own support. So we have seen a few different support models, but I can assure you that our current setup is by far the best one we have experienced. And I suppose the biggest reason for this is that we have been able to develop and maintain the culture of our own team of 12 support staff.
Oh, sorry. So that was, I guess, 3 stories that highlight just a small element of some of the walking alongside. So people being able to self-direct, be supported to work out what that looks like, how that works for them, looking about what home looks like, challenging those assumptions, and also planning and thinking about how people can have more self-agency and ways in which that can happen within a system. But as you can see, all of that is larger than a system. The meaning for people is larger than a system. It's what it takes is larger than a system. So the other element, which I'll just touch on quickly, is our support for service providers. So we've got sometimes working with service providers who say, look, we only offer group homes to people. Help us to learn more about more individualised living supports. How can we do that? What do we need to consider? What do we do when people are struggling to understand what that might look like, or the fear that people may have by moving out of what families may consider to be a secure group home. So we do a lot of, I guess, capacity building work with providers around that particular area, how to develop culture within the organisation that helps people to be able to take more control of their lives. So whilst it's working with service providers, the outcome should affect how people are able to increase their self-direction, or whether sometimes how providers are supporting people can decrease their ability to self-direct their services. So that's just a snapshot again of some of the support that we provide, and there's a whole range of resources. So on one of my slides earlier, I said, we do resource development and information, and we work with a number of partners to help, consultants that help us to do that, or we do it in partnership with. So I just want to share with you one more video. This is, our work across state. You saw on, we are the biggest state in Australia, and, you're looking at 3,000 kilometres between, the north and south. And this story I'm going to play for you now is, again, one of our stories under one of our projects, which is showcasing what's possible with people, and particularly, and this is a very remote part of Western Australia, and I'm sure you'll love him as much as what I do.
My name is Tristan. I run a business called Tristan's Yard and Flood Maintenance. I do ribbon snipping, I do mowing, I do raking up, I do chainsawing. I cut all the trees and put it into a bonfire. I do lots of places around here. I do the courthouse. I mow at Baylor School and Pittsburgh School. I just make all the place look tidy around here. Look outside my door, and it's like, oh man, the grass is so long, I just want to cut it. I mostly cut grass because it's very important, because you don't know what's in it. If you're walking with barefoot, there might be snakes. This is a good lawn to make it even, and I cut it really low to make it really nice, so people can see what's in the grass and to make it safe. If you want your grass to be cut, I'm the guy to call. You have to take good care of the equipment, and you're looking after my gear, I check the brakes on the mouse, and the filter, and the fuel, and the oil. When I got it, it's really good for me. It's really clean my mind, and my stress goes right down. It's getting me healthy. It's really good for my muscles. And if you don't like the sun too much, that's your bad luck. No one can ever survive in this heat, but I can. I like to be my own boss because it's really good and they listen to me. I have 4 people who work for me. I like running my own garden business and I just can't get enough of it. I do take good care of this place and people respect me a lot. So when they come to me, I want it to be perfect. I want it to be really good. I work really hard for that. But the construction gardening is looking pretty good because it's me.
So as you can see, I didn't actually, sorry, I didn't say that he's from Fitzroy Crossing, which is, as I said, a remote area of Western Australia. One of the things you also didn't hear me talk about was the disabilities that people may have in the stories. And I'm sure that you know that each one of us, but particularly where people may have a disability, they have such a story and so much that sits behind what video you've just seen. And Tristan and his family have worked really hard to get to a point of, you know, he's running his own business, he's earning money, he's employing people, and you know, that's self-direction in practice. Really, it's a way in which people are able to live and share their lives. So I'll just stop there just to give people again a chance to chat with each other just around, I guess, any of the videos, anything that's come up for you, anything that you found interesting or you liked, or yeah. So Heidi, I will throw back to you to organise the breakout rooms, please.